Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's only the seventh time Michael's had to hear that intro today of the three welcomes. We are here to discuss some very important things, Mr. Michael at iLead. I do believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've got some announcements that we need to cover that are relevant for anyone who is a personal trainer, online fitness professional, gym owner, anyone who is in that area. We have some information, we have some things that we would like to share with you and some things we would like to bring to your attention.
Yeah, it's always funny because you either have to go long form with nutrition coaches, fitness coaches, personal trainers, health and wellness coaches, right? We've tried to lump fitness professionals, and that sometimes gets it and sometimes doesn't, because that's what like all the the business people go after. Hey, if you're a fitness professional looking to add $374,000 per month to 7 bank accounts, we have right. We need to coin that term. Like, what is the term we can just group everybody into? Keywords matter. Yeah, I think first we've gotten a lot of questions lately, and I know at least I have, and I'm sure you have too. You are in way more conversations than I have. People reach out and they're like, what is iLead? What is the coaches community? And part of that's on us to actually explain what we've been doing lately and why we're actually now branding it and probably doing marketing 101 as we teach about going through the coaches community. So could you explain a little bit more about like what that is and kind of why somebody would join that, or who should join that in general?
Yeah, absolutely. So we should probably back up a little bit because you brought up the iLead, and that is and has been the name of what we've been working on and testing for the last year or so at this point. It is more of an umbrella with things that fall under it, and the full name is actually iLead Change. And the reason for that is because whether it's in the fitness space, whether it's in this country, we've got a lot of things that aren't going potentially as well as they could be. And so we're kind of dedicated to making some changes that are conducive for a better experience for hopefully, every single coach, trainer, gym owner, everyone in the space, as far as ways to be connected with each other, ways for sharing solutions with each other, ways for growing our businesses, ways for delivering better results to clients. And we'll extend out from there. We're working on some things right now with one gym, particularly in California, where we're looking to get into some communities and start doing good beyond the fitness space, right? And that's why the tagline for iLead was always, we're going to change the world. Health and fitness is just a vessel, because health and fitness is a cornerstone, or it should be a cornerstone of everyone's life, of a good and fulfilling, productive life. Every single person out there, you should be concerned with your own health and wellness. And we've all heard the expression, right? If you don't make time for wellness, you're going to be forced to make time for sickness or something of that nature, right? I'm sure I just bastardized that, and I'm extremely sorry about it. But it's something that's a cornerstone of everyone's life. And so that is what the iLead tagline comes from, or where it comes from. But yeah, we specialize with fitness professionals, as we've said. We have a long list of companies and businesses that we've worked with, that we've worked for, some of the bigger ones in the space that that we have a very long history with, have actually built out those businesses. And so we've, like Farmers Insurance, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. And that includes, people who get over leveraged, people who get ripped off, people who get misguided, right? Like, small example. I had someone in the DMs who had signed up with a relatively well-known business coaching, whatever they call themselves these days, whatever the cool kids call themselves, program, right? And everyone gets told like, oh, it's a write-off, just do it. Well, sure. But when your business, your coaching business makes like $4,000 or $6,000 a year because you're just starting out, and then you go all in and hand over $30K and write it off, the IRS comes knocking, right? When you claim like a 500-600% loss on your taxes, you get audited. And that's something that doesn't get discussed, but that's a side effect of what is occurring in the space because we have so many business coaching programs and all these big promises about 10K months. And I mean, I'd like to see how many clients actually get the 10K month, and more importantly, how many repeat it. It's single digits for the record. But you know, all of the marketing leans towards that and how much money you can make in the space and all of those things. It's there, but you have to work for it, right? It's not as easy as it's marketed to be. It is presented to be this thing where like, oh, in 90 days, whether you know how to coach or not, we can help you make a ton of money. Now, I mean, morally, we could have that discussion many different ways. But that's one of the things in this space that needs changing. It needs changing. And so that's something that, you know, we want to help out with, right? And so that's actually why we started to differentiate some of the things that we do. And that's why we renamed the community that we have, the coaches community, because it is just that. It is not a business coaching program. It is not a business mentorship. It's none of those things. All of the tools are there. Everything that you need to know about sales and marketing and copywriting and all of that, and laying out your quarter and hosting webinars and challenges and whatever the case, right? Like, we're just here to provide the tools. We're here to educate you. We're here to show you how to use everything. Not everything is a hammer. And because not everything's a hammer, not every problem's a nail. We believe that coaches should be a Swiss Army knife. And so we want to show you how to become that. So yeah, man, that's a little bit of the why behind everything. Is there anything else that you want to add to that?
No, man, I want to get to the this or that statements. You know me. want to jump right into them.
Okay.
But yeah, I hope that makes sense to everybody. You know, iLead is the bigger thing. iLead change is the bigger thing that will accomplish a lot, and the coaches community is just one part of that. So we thought it was very important to start distinguishing the difference now that we've been at this for over a year. And I think that's also important to note. This isn't something that we popped open overnight. We've actually been very methodical about this, about how many people we let in at a time, because we wanted to go through processes. We wanted to make sure not just what we were saying, because we've all been there where you join something and then someone just tells you to do something and it's like, yeah, that's cool. The concept, we get it, first principles, but like, what's the context? How can I actually go through and do this? So we've done several iterations of this, and we've just tried to improve it each time. So that's why we're now comfortable going through with the coaches community and actually building this out for anyone that's possibly listening. Not you, Mom. I love you to death, but I don't think this is for you. Maybe later, but not right now.
Yeah, there's a massive gap in the space, right? And if you listen to podcasts on business programs and mentorship, specifically in the fitness space, right? You hear people push their opinions, their viewpoints, and I want to remind everyone that's all they are, right? It's just what people think to be true or they know to be true from their own success and the way that they've created it, right? And so because of that, you hear so many different things. If we level it down, it's just like you hear opposing points of view in nutrition all the time, right? And so if we're going to talk about it on the business front, you'll hear people who say like, you need to be the Gary Vee, you need to be the content monster, you need to always be pushing people out there. You'll hear other people who will tell you like, no, you don't need to do that. You only need to post a few times a week and only when you have something to say. Both could be true, right? We would have to dissect who's giving that advice. Why do they think that way? Have you built your business consistently over the last 8 to 10 years to a giant online presence where you have a massive following and people look up to you? Cool. Then you're free to post a couple of times a week and people will just come to you. That is how it will work. If you're a coach who's starting out in the space in your first year, your second year, that's not how it works, right? And so that is another shortcoming. Right? There are people who are positioning themselves as business mentors and business coaches and all these things who don't have a very broad and clear understanding of situational context. And it matters. Just like with nutrition, it matters. It depends on what the context is that we're speaking about. And so we think about things a little bit differently. A bigger, broader point of view to attempt to see things from all angles so we can present people with different options and let them choose their own path forward without any kind of ridicule, right? Like, I don't TikTok. I'm not going to TikTok. But if you are 22 years old and you love to TikTok, I'm not going to discourage you or dissuade you from that, because number one, that's your demographic. Number two, that is your chosen acquisition channel, right? You love to be there, but guess what? Other people your age love to be there, right? And so we wouldn't tell you to not do that. We wouldn't make fun of you for pointing at bubbles or whatever the thing is, or doing the dance. Sure, I'm not going to do it, but I'm super old, right? And so all of these things, it's different strokes for different folks. And so it's more about the education and giving people clear paths on how and when they should apply certain things and if it makes sense to them. And that's part of the reason why we do things the way that we do, which is drastically different from other mentorships, other business coaching programs, or whatever the case may be. We've seen them from the inside out. Hell, I've built a couple of them. And so I know the problems with them very well. As you astutely point out, no one loves the trip to the DMV where they have to wait in line for their answer when they're 17th in the queue, right? And that's unnecessary. Nor should that be a model that's so outdated. And the fact that people in the space haven't been able to evolve their programs past that speaks to the fact that none of them innovate, and they simply emulate. They simply watch each other and just copy each other's stuff. That's why no one ever really has any revolutionary tactics, because they're just taking from each other. And there's no originality and there's no problem solving. No one's applying new solutions to old problems. And so nothing really changes unless you make it change.
Absolutely. And it kind of brings up, this morning we went to a deep dive on mentorships and what does that mean, stimulated from some posts and some podcasts that we had seen come up recently. And while we don't need to go down that rabbit hole at this time, that's not what this is for. It does bring up, though, about the coaches community, because you mentioned this is a program. You know, this is not a mentorship, although things are coming in the future. Always like when you grin like that, I always think of Ace Ventura when they zoom in on him when he makes the lion growl. Yeah. You give that like shit-eating grin, as my mama would say.
God bless Southerners. That's where that comes from.
But this, this isn't a program, right? This is a community. So what's the distinguishing factor there? Because, we like to say, if you want to go to sales pitch, we have magnetize, mesmerize, so you can monetize, right? If you want to break that down into, it's, as we started off, mindset, skill set, and building a sense of purpose. So how does a community differ from everything else that's already out there, right? Versus a forum, which we know some people have, right? Which is, hey, you pay X amount of dollars and then random Q&As happen, right? Versus, a DMV style consulting group call, which we've all seen those. Versus hey, here's a roadmap to how you make a VA come in and do all your work for you and you outsource all your money. We're none of those things. So like we're in this weird area where it's like, I'm sure it's like trying to explain CrossFit back in like 2010. People were like, you wear cargo shorts and workout boots and do box jumps. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. All right. So that's a very, very interesting question. What's the difference? All right. So we did have a discussion on mentorship earlier, and this was inspired from a podcast that was released today, Wednesday, October 12th, from the Excellence Cartel. And those guys and their thoughts on a mentorship. And so on our morning show call, we opened the floor. Hey, what do you guys think mentorship means? And if you buy into one or you join one, what do you expect to see on the other side? What are the things you expect when you hear the word mentorship? I believe language is powerful. I believe it needs to be specific so we can create clear understandings of what something is and what it's not. So I'm going to give you my opinion. In my opinion, we're going to start with a mentorship. That is a one-on-one setting. It is not a 1 to 10. Like, join my mentorship of 10 people. That's a fellowship, right? You're in there with more than one person. And so like a mentor-mentee situation, opinion, one-on-one, right? Fellowship, small group, program, start and finish, right? 12 weeks of this. It's a program that progresses. Community. So we're different because we build together. We have everyone who comes into this community takes a lot from it, but they also put back into it. And so there are certain things that we can't really talk about. You have to see on the inside of the community. But I'll give you an example of what we're not. There is a business coaching program, and when someone has a revolutionary technique, like, I don't know, say loom check-ins from like 4 years ago or whatever. Shout out to Tristan Winters, first person I know who ever did that. They will hear this thing and then they will tell everyone the thing. And then the original person never receives any credit. It's just, this is what you should do now. And it becomes gospel. No, we bring the people in who do the thing and they teach us. They teach us all together, right? So the expression that we commonly say is none of us is as smart as all of us. And the example that I give is, if I personally am in a room of 20 people, 20 times, if we discuss 20 different ideas, I may have the second best idea all 20 times, but I may not ever have the best idea. And so depending on one person to lead everything in a very top-down manner of whatever this person says is gospel is it's kind of absurd and it's foolish. And so, you know, like we've had Coach David, come in and do trainings on Google reviews, and how a guy who has a garage gym became the top-rated personal trainer in Atlanta. And it was from that thing that he did. And so instead of us trying to understand it from him, we have him come in and do trainings and give support, because we're a community, and a community is something that you pour into. You take from it. There's benefit from being there, but you pour back into it. And so that's also one of the reasons why we have the price point the way that we do, because it's a community. It's not a program. We're not here for an arm and a leg. We're not going to ask you to cut out a kidney and sell it to someone so you can give us $20,000, or go on to the black market and, you know, sell some children or something. Like that's not what we're here for. And that's part of the thing that needs to change, right? I lead change. It's not $20,000 or $30,000 for someone to say, oh, go to someone else's Facebook group, answer questions, bring them back to your Facebook group, launch a challenge, you know, give a month-to-month price, and then give them a 6-month paid in full package where you give them 20% off, and then you collect 6 paid in fulls at $1,500. Lo and behold, we're rubbing up against that 10K mark. And make no mistake about it, that's basically what's on the other side of those things, on the other side of those paywalls. We don't have to go into it any further than that, but that is the generality of the strategy that you're going to receive. It is not valued at $20,000 or $30,000. It is absurd that is what is out there. And so because of that, we do those things in a different manner, better. Yeah, I said it. It's $97 a month. No contracts. Come when you want to come, leave when you want to leave. This is about empowering others. It's about teaching others. It's about helping others. It's not about private jets and all Gucci everything and all that ridiculousness. So yeah, community is a little bit different than the rest of those things.
Well, I'm a little upset you didn't price stack and
Sorry.
drop. You know, you should have started at 1,000, drop it to 10%. That's what's recommended, 10 to 15% price drop. So that way it's a no-brainer decision.
We will teach you what value stacking is. We will teach you what price marinades are. We will teach you what a price anchor is. We don't use them.
Well, it's not needed, and it's not because the one side is right. People are like, well, I give, and I can't get anyone to convert because all I do is give freebies. Well, sure, that's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is you don't give anything for free and everything's behind a paywall. Either way are the extremes, and they're both kind of hard. But what you get if you actually have a combination with a message that aligns with your mission, then you're in this beautiful area where everything coincides. And when you actually post, it's not just oh, this is cringy. It's like, oh, no, this is actually beautiful because it's either something from your heart, it's something from your past, or it's something from your own community. Mm-hmm. And so through those things, you're able to actually promote kindness, stories, know-how. You're able to craft that together. And then it becomes not a, I have to, it's like a, oh, I can't wait to share this. And I think that's the one thing. And that's just one example of social media. Like there are plenty more examples, but that's just the most common thing we see, right? Because people have been told they have to have an online presence. Doesn't matter what they are. We've seen where people have an in-person business and have been told they need to go online only. And it's just like, no, that's actually not true. You need to be able to take the models individually to fit the person. And that's what we've done, right? We craft everything. We call it quote unquote group coaching, but it's not like anything probably anyone in this field has ever seen or done. It's just fact. It's not because we're trying to do something different. We're not trying to be different. We're just trying to be the best version that gets the people in this community results, right? We're not trying to stand out in any other way other than to make sure it's because our clients that are the coaches in here have the best experience possible, which usually means they feel good about what they're doing. They're in alignment and their community is winning, not just their own people, but their physical community. Because if you do not have an anchor to that, then you are probably not going to have the purpose that you want. You're not going to be aligned, and you're missing out on so much opportunity.
Yes, you are.
Don't you old man sigh. Don't you old man sigh me.
Well, you said things, and so like I want to go in one of two different directions. Number one, actually I'll go in both. Number one,
don't you dare.
You talked about posting. Just a reminder, this coming Monday, what is it, the 17th? Is it the 17th, Cam?
Yeah, so it is October 17th at 9 a.m. Eastern. It is not November 17th. It is not Wednesday the 17th. It is Monday, October 17th. Usually I'm the one with all the craziness between letters and numbers and values and messing up and spelling. And you've sent three different dates now.
I get it. I dropped the ball. Guys, so this Monday, and that's going to be, as Cam said, October 17th, 9 a.m. Eastern, we're going to have a free content creation masterclass. Why? Well, it is something that within the first 3 weeks of joining the community, so we have certain modules that get unlocked in the first few weeks. One of them is our content engine. Part of that is called the Ninja Funnel. And so it's one of the things right away that is a big win for people. It gets them time back. It demystifies the content creation process with what should I post, right? A lot of people do that thing where you wake up, you're like, I know I need to post. I'm not sure what to post. So what should I post? You go to Instagram and you scroll for 30 minutes for inspiration. And then as Cam does, you end up looking at corgi videos and that's it. And so you lost 30 minutes. You got no more content out of it. We want to remove that from everyone, right? And so Monday, we will go ahead and demystify that process. And it is a free call. It is a 100% free call to be held on Zoom. And to take it a step further, by the way, while we're talking about that, we should probably let everyone know Monday through Thursday, our morning show, which is our morning community call, will be free to the public. You are more than welcome to join us. The Zoom line will be posted. You can come sit in. You can listen. You can contribute to the conversation. You can watch the trainings. You can see the guests who come in here. The only thing we ask is that you have your camera on so we can see your face, your beautiful, beautiful face, and make sure that you are not a spy sent to destroy us from the outside. No, that's it. We just want to be able to see you and interact with you. And so that's essentially the only rule, other than, be a normal human. Don't come in flinging feces and screaming profanity. So yeah, we will have that content creation masterclass, and that actually kicks off the debut of our free morning show call, which will occur every day, Monday through Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern. If you are a gym owner, personal trainer, if you're a fit pro or a coach or whatever it is that you do, we want you to come sit in with us. We want to show you what we do. We're not hiding things behind paywalls. We want to give you a snapshot and insight into the way that we do things. And so this is 100% open to the public. So that's one thing. The second thing is this, because you started talking about essentially, parts of our 3x3 stack that we call it. So this is kind of what we do, right? And this is more of like the marketer version of it, but it's very realistic. It's very honest. It's very open. This is not smoke and mirrors like some missions are. So we work on three things daily. We work on your mindset, we work on your skill sets, and we work on the efficiency of your actions. We work on your mindset because I will say this a million times. The thing behind your eyes and between your ears can be your greatest weapon or it can be your biggest liability, right? A lot of people out there, a lot of coaches, and we know this because we've been experimenting with the process. And if we level down, a lot of dieters, a lot of gym goers, a lot of whoever, you can do it for a few days, but then you don't see that result and you're like, nah, I'm done. It's a lot of hard work that I don't want to do. You're not disciplined. You're not bought in. You don't have the mindset to push through, to persevere. If you want to be successful at anything in this world, you have to be willing to work for an extended period of time and delay gratification. And so we work on your mindset every single day. That's why we have a morning system called Flow that we teach people right away. We want to put you in the right mindset to be successful in your life. So we work on your mindset every day. We work on your skill sets because there's an expression called sharpen the axe. Guess what? You're the axe. You are the business owner. You are the coach. In many cases, you have that primary skill set that does the thing, right? Whether you're a programmer, whether you're a diet coach, whatever you are, you've got this thing. But you also need other skills. You need to be a good copywriter. You need to understand marketing so you can create desire and intrigue and want for your goods and services. You need to understand the sales process so you don't come across like a depression era salesman with commission breath who's asking everyone on a scale of 1 to 10, if you didn't have any guidance, how bad do you think you'd feel? Right? Like we've all heard people like
6.
that. They just try to make everyone feel as bad as they can. It's called digging pain. There's a better way to sell, by the way. We can show you. But you need those other skill sets because if you don't have those skill sets, no one's going to buy into your first skill set, right? And so we work on your skill sets every single day. Then we work on the efficiency of actions that you take for multiple reasons. Number one, we find that a lot of people waste a lot of time, right? They're like, oh, I just need to focus. No, you need to remove distractions. Or I don't love to do this. Of course you don't. That's why you need to create systems around it because you came here to coach, that primary thing. I should look into the camera when I say this. Now, some of you newer coaches just came here because of the ads for the 10K months. You're not welcome. If you're just here for a cash grab, you're not our people. If you're an influencer and all you can do is snap photos of your ass all day and stand in that weird girl stance, you're not welcome. We're not for you. Anyways, so you got to be efficient at what you do. And so when you love to coach, and that's the thing that you do, which is solving problems for other people, you don't always love sales. You don't always love marketing. You don't always love being able to push people through a pipeline. You don't always love those things. So we teach you how to create systems around those things so you minimize the time you spend doing the thing that you don't love. So you have more time to pour into the people that you do love. That's also how you prevent burnout from happening, right? And so we work on those three things every single day. So within your business, you have the ability to do three things, right? And so at this point, we want in your business for you to have the ability to magnetize, right? And so where you can actually bring people in to you. And I'll go back to what I was saying earlier. Not everyone's been doing this for 10 years. Not everyone's got thousands of followers. Not everyone's well respected in the space. Not everyone's a plastic looking human that people just follow naturally. Not everyone is that. And so not everyone can just post once every 3 days and have a whole lot of people share their stuff, right? Some people, you need to stay top of mind. You need to be aggressive. You need to be out there. But we want to show you how to magnetize, how to bring people in so you're not always sending cold DMs or things like that. If that's what you do, that's what you do, right? Like not here to hate on you. It's your chosen strategy, but it's easier when people come to you. So we want to teach you how to magnetize. Once they're there in your audience, you want to captivate them. You want to keep their attention. You want to give them a lot of great value. You want to give them resources that are going to help them out, that are going to get them quick wins. So we need to teach you how to mesmerize people once you've magnetized and pulled them in. And we love to do that. After that, of course, they're there. You have them. We're going to show you how to monetize. That's why we have David, who went like 57 for 59 in sales in Q1. That's why we teach you to close over Zoom, over Loom, on the phone. It does not matter. Because you need to be able to do those three things in your business if you want to be successful. And if in your business we can teach you how to magnetize, mesmerize, and monetize, then in your life, we hope to provide three outcomes. Number one is financial freedom. Financial freedom is, well, for most people, what it would be now is just not having that low level of anxiety of like, am I going to be able to buy groceries? Am I going to be able to make a car payment? Am I going to be able to do this thing that so many people walk around every day? Like that low level of anxiety. It's not living a life on vacation all the time. It's not jet setting and all the rented Lambos and stuff. That's not it. That's it for some people, sure. For most people, that's not a thing, right? And so if you want to build to that level, we want to help you get there. But financial freedom is not that. That is something different entirely. But we want you to have financial freedom where you are able to live a life where you can take vacations, where you can travel when you want to, do whatever you need to because you have enough money in the bank to back it up. Speaking of vacations, we also want you to have time freedom. Make no mistake about it. There are going to be weeks where you got to work 60, 80 hours in your business. Absolutely. Consecutively sometimes, 100%. Anyone who tells you otherwise is blowing smoke. But the goal is not to do that unless you love that. Right? Some people are addicted to that, to the business building aspect. And if you love spending time there, cool. That's great. Do your thing. For a lot of people, though, it's not. We have families, we have significant others, we have pets, we have the want and desire to travel and to go sit on beaches and exotic locations and all the thing. And we want you to be able to do that. We want you to have the time freedom to build out a life where you can travel, where you can do those things, where you're not handcuffed to your job all day long. But make no mistake, you still got to work those long hours sometimes. There are not jobs that are successful where you don't have to work hard. And so don't let anyone else who's talking about like time freedom and all these things lie to you and say, you're only going to have to work a few hours. No, that's not how it works. But we want you to have time freedom. We want you to spend time with the people that you love, living a life where you love doing what you're doing. We want that. And so we think if we can grant you financial freedom in your personal life, and if we can get you some time freedom, and by the way, you're doing this through coaching, which is solving problems for other humans. It's a life of service. You're actually taking people, their problematic darkness, and you're the person who's leading them into the light, whether you're a Sherpa, a shepherd, or a sheepdog, whatever you are. If you're helping others and you're getting well paid and you're not tied to a laptop all day, that sounds like a sense of purpose to me. We want to give you those three things. So we work on these three things every day so we can have these three things in the business. And when you get these three things in the business, you personally get those three things. And so that's our 3x3 stack. And that's why we do the things that we do and the way that we do them, so we can have those outcomes.
Hashtag mic drop. You heard it here first, folks. 3x3 Coaches Community is live, is rocking and rolling. Monday, October 17th, if you're listening to this before then or watching this before then, is when we will have the live content creation masterclass. If you are listening to this after the fact, totally cool. All of it is recorded, and actually we have a curriculum in our network where it walks you step by step through everything. Mike already dropped. It's $97. There's no upsells, downsells, sideways sells, or more sales. It's just $97 a month, and it's a step-by-step process that walks through. Plus, you get access to all the calls, not just the morning call, which we are going to the people. Should we drop the number? Nah, we'll wait. Hey, if you guys actually want to join us a few different ways. One, if you're following Michael or myself, Michael is Michael at Michael for my lead. I am cam.explains. You can hit us up in our DMs. Just let us know. I think you probably should always make sure you follow, then hit the DMs. Otherwise, it goes to spam. Other than that, if you check out the link in his bio or my bio, you can probably see that to actually sign up for the call itself, or at the Coaches Community, we'll have the digits to join the call. But if you have any questions, concerns, you can always hit us up. Michael, anything else we should let the coaches know before we jet for today? I hate when you get close like that.
Very, very big surprise for the industry coming in Q2 of next year. Stay tuned.
Already putting the T's in there. Future pacing, love it. Marketing 102 for the upgraded curriculum. Alrighty, guys, that is all we have for today. If you want to join the coaches community, hit us up on socials. In the show notes, we always will have the Zoom ID. Not just the link. I hate trying to find links and send them to people. So look out for that. Join us Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday, October 17th, live content creation masterclass. We'll be doing that. The recording will live in the network. That's if you're a member. So all those things and more. If you have any questions, hit us up. Until then, see you next time.